Hello, it's Bradley J. Welcome to Ignore the Machine. I am not a life coach or a personal coach, but I'm going to be one today. In a previous episode, I talked about how I was tired of kind of inertia relationships that you just kind of hang around and you don't really know why. Maybe because you just used to, because you always did. And I told you that I started to examine them and found that they were pretty one way, and that I would be asking questions of the folks and trying to find out about them, and there'd never be anything in return. And when there was, it would be, like what's up, or how was your trip? I need more than that. Everybody needs more than that. So let me get into this. If you want to have more meaningful relationships, not more relationships, but relationships that are more meaningful, ask questions that show that you care, that you are curious. If you're not curious, don't hang around. Let me give you an example, I guess. Instead of saying, how was your trip? Which is just, kind of, I don't even want to use the word lazy, but it's surface. If you really care about the person, ask them questions like, "What did you eat anything there that you'd like to learn how to make because you loved it so much? Did you make any relationships there, etc." Stuff like that. Even a specific. Do you recommend that airline? Was the legroom okay? Just not like, how was your trip? Because, I would like to tell you about how my trip was, but I don't want to go on a big, long thing that you don't care about. And I know you don't care about it because you just kind of asked a bleh question. So please be specific. In a real relationship, people will ask specific questions. They want to know specific things. And that brings me to the crux of this biscuit. They want to know what I have to offer them that they don't know. That's what I want out of a relationship. And when I talk about a relationship, I'm talking about maybe just somebody meeting somebody on the street or meeting somebody at a party. I want them to be forthcoming with what they know that I don't know. Everybody has some knowledge that I don't have. Everybody has something to share. And I'd really like to get down to the meat of the whole thing right away. And so this is going to be my new thing that I say when I meet somebody. Tell me something I don't know. That's what I want from you. Tell me what you have to offer. I will share what I have to offer. And that kind of relationship in 5 minutes is more rewarding than some 5-year relationships. And then you really find out if that person is of interest to you, and you want to hang out more. What do you know that I don't know? I went to a large gathering the other day filled with people that they must have been interesting. They had fancy jobs like working in AI and all that. And I tried to talk to them, and it's cliche to say pulling teeth, but it kind of was. First, if we're going to have a conversation, if I'm just somebody I don't even know, I want you to ask me a meaningful question. Think about what you know about me and ask a question based on that. Not just, what do you do? Oh, you already know what I do, probably, because we've been introduced. But if you don't, I'll tell you. And then when I tell you, ask some thoughtful questions about it, like you give a darn, like you give a care. I promise to do the same. At this event, I really went there to make connections, and I experimented. I said, I'm going to be very proactive and make connections. I even promised myself I would watch myself, and if I caught myself prejudging anybody, erase that and just go in there and see what happened. How do you do? My name's Bradley, etc. And something about me, to see what would happen back. And it was surprising how difficult it was to get people to share. Now, I could say, well, maybe people were put off by me. Maybe I look weird. But it doesn't matter. I'm not predisposed to think that because it's unhealthy to think that. I am a human, and I'm going to talk to you. You're probably an interesting human, and I know for darn sure you've got something to share. And I want you to share it. I want you to share something about you so I can get a handle on you. But it's very difficult to get people to do that, even with people with super interesting jobs. It was like interviewing people. And you say, well, Bradley J., you're an interviewer. Maybe you preemptively interviewed them and didn't give them a chance. Nope. No, I was aware of that. And they had opportunities to pick up the conversation. But no. You say, Bradley J., maybe people are just shy. And I would say to you, if you are just shy, please make that a priority and work on that, because you're missing out on a lot by being shy. You're missing out on the best parts of life, and that includes interesting relationships with people, even if it's a 5-minute chat. Get over it. Realize, like I do, that other people have something to share. Ask them about that. Take a little nub of what you know about them or what you can glean right off the bat and extrapolate on that. It's not that hard. So, I think from now on, I will say, right away, tell me something I don't know. Because that's what I want. I don't want the same old blather that wastes time. Blee, blee, blah, blee, blue, blee, bloop. Oh, you're an AI. Tell me about something in AI I don't know. Oh, you're a biologist. Tell me about something I don't know. Oh, you're a cardiologist. Tell me, what are some myths about your heart? Or should sugar be treated like tobacco? Or whatever. But can we all, understand it in this so-called age of connectivity, we are massively unconnected. The so-called connectivity, the TikTok connectivity, is BS. It doesn't count. It is not there. It is a myth. It's a mirror. A mirror. No, it's smoke and mirrors. We are not connected. We are isolated, and people are forgetting how to even chat. So again, to encapsulate what you're learning from this, I know you've got something to share, and I know I have something to share. And if we ever meet, let's get to the point, shall we? Hey, Bob, I hear you live in the North End. I want to know about the North End. Has it changed? Are there any restaurants that are not junky touristy restaurants? What's the secret restaurant? Which is better? Mike's Pastry or Modern Pastry or the other one? What's the downside of living there? Were you upset for the businesses that had to pay money to have outdoor dining in the North End and not on other neighborhoods? There's all kinds of stuff. If you don't care about enough to ask me thoughtful questions, then don't even bother. And you can expect the same from me. If I don't ask you thoughtful questions, if we don't get to something substantial right away, if we can't give each other that, then don't even bother. Do something else with your time and don't waste it going blah, blah, blah. And okay? Which brings me, I might as well finish. Everything, not everything, but when you're posting, when you're replying anonymously to somebody on a post on the internet, it is a waste of your time. It's a horrible waste of your time. You know it is, because it leaves you feeling empty. So when I see you, be ready to tell me something I don't know. Susan says, I would like to have words of wisdom and ways to grow. I think I can only get that with much older men, not money or gifts. Well, that is interesting. Let's see. I would think I would like to have words of wisdom and ways to grow. Well, words of wisdom. That's one thing. You can get words of wisdom on YouTube if you look on the right place. Because there's philosophy, there's historian. Today I listened to a podcast on discipline and how to be disciplined, which plays into another one. A book I bought about habit forming and how to change your habits. So you can get words of wisdom on YouTube. But Susan, when you meet somebody, right away say, that's what you want, right? Tell the person, so, Bob, I want some words of wisdom. Tell me something I don't know. And if they just give you some stupid answer, well, just leave. So you know what? I think that I'd left something burning on the stove. Words of wisdom and ways to grow. One interesting way to grow, Susan, is all day, even when you're by yourself, observe yourself as a third party, and be amused by it or concerned by it. You're doing this. Think to yourself, "Wow, I wonder why I'm doing that. I sure do that a lot. That's kind of goofy. Is that the best thing to do?" Or when you interact, you think, "Am I prejudging someone? Am I judging them on the way they look?" Which everyone does. Don't lie. That's what clothes are for, to send that message. So you think you can only get that with an older man, not money or gifts. Well, yeah, no kidding. I mean, money is nice, but that's not the way to a relationship. Or gifts. I'm so gift averse. A long time ago, I convinced my family not to exchange gifts on Christmas or birthday. Best thing ever. It's so awful to have to think what to get, and then when they get you something, have to pretend that it was, and then you got to take it back. It's a waste of time. So much of a waste of time. So money and gifts. You're right, Susan. You need wisdom. Learning is what it's all about. It fills you up. It makes you. You can feel your essence filling up when you get to Wayne. In the past, I found that people seemed uninterested in my type of work, so I seldom talked about it. Yeah, well, they should be asking you about it. That's the point. That's my point. Hi, if I met you, which I have, hi, Wayne. Hi, my name's Wayne. Yeah, Bradley J. So, Wayne, somebody tells me, can I say what you do, Wayne? Well, Wayne, you work in a big place, and you're in charge of making sure all the machines run. And they have a lot of machines there. How do you do it? What's the hardest part? Like, how'd you learn how to do that? Oh, you were in the Navy. Okay. What machine breaks the most? Do people do people abuse the machines? Do they use them wrong? How much do the machines cost? How big are they? These people should be asking you that. And if they don't, then move on to somebody who does. Because they don't really care. If they're just, what's up? Oh, yeah, okay. What's up? Sup? I understand on online dating that's what people say. That's it. That kind of BS, and that's why it sucks. So people should ask you specific stuff, and you should give specific answers. You should tell them stuff they don't know. They should want to learn, and you should teach them. I probably did something bad. John Robinson. I admit, in the past, if I'm getting busted here for something I did or didn't do, I've grown since then, and I apologize. When we first met, you asked me what I thought was the most band to ever come out of Boston was. Okay. Important. Did I say that? I wonder. I should have said favorite. Important. That's a good question. Important? I guess you'd have to say Aerosmith, right? if by important meaning having the biggest impact. But favorite? I will say human sexual response. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And this is all about having a quality life and allocating your time to people with whom you can have an interesting and fulfilling and time well spent relationship. Simple platitudes, platitudinal questions like, yeah, what's up? How was your trip? Okay. If that's as far as it goes, forget about it. So if you meet me, be prepared for my question or my command. Tell me something I don't know. Denise says, I asked my family what's going on with their jobs. Very nice. Yet they never asked me what's going on in my life. That was what I talked about in my previous one. I think you should tell them, Denise Goudreau. Say at Thanksgiving, you know what, family? I got a little bit of an announcement to make. I feel like I'm always asking you about what specific things about your jobs, your life, and you never ask me. And you know what that tells me? You don't care. And I may not even show up next year if it's going to be this one way. People say the most important thing in the world is family. I could not disagree more. The most important thing is good relationships. And if your family's not providing that, so what if you're linked via DNA? John Robinson. I thought it was a good question. You said pixies. Ooh, that's a good one. They were huge and they were good. That was a good answer. I might have to remember that. And John said, you said human sexual response. See, I wasn't lying. I was truthing you. Denise Goudreau says, you keep freezing up on my screen. I had a comment, but I can't say it in this ridiculously correct world. Speaking of another thing. I think I'm only going to hang around in the future with people with whom I can be me. And me ain't pretty. I say some stuff that, would not be popular in today's culture. So I'm careful of who I hang around with so I can be me. So I can tell my jokes and get interesting jokes back. And Wayne said, do you remember the appearance by Human Sex Response on TV? 5 All Night Show back in 1980. I do not. Where were the bad words and things, where there were bad words and things done on the air? Oh, I bet I know it was the bad words were the name of a particular song. Probably, right? Probably. And I don't remember that. But thank you for asking that question. Yeah, so this is I don't want to go on and on. I want to stay on point. This is like the next step in having meaningful relationships. And meaningful relationships can include those 5-minute chats that you have when you meet somebody at a party or in a store. Or you say, hey, nice dog. Man, that's a nice dog. You just see them on the street. I love that dog. If the dog is big, say, what's it like having a big dog like that? What's the downside? I mean, do they get in the bed with you? Do you worry about them biting people? Do they slobber on you? Why do you like that breed? Etc. Ask specific questions. And it matters. Instead of just, hey, what's going on? Okay. Just kind of, I call it treading social water, like you do on the internet. That's treading social water. For crying out loud, go out and be proactively interactive. Be proactively interactive. And if people don't respond, so what? So what? Move on. Proactively interactive. The Art of Conversation. That's an actual song. It is. No one, right. I don't know how it was back in the day. I can't remember. I mean, before I was born, like in the 50s, were conversations any more meaningful? I don't know. But I guess you're right. It's the art of actual conversation. One of the things that's different, the English language has been slimmed down to about 7 words. One of them's amazing. One of them's awesome. That's awesome. What's up? That's two more words. What's up? That was amazing. Oh, that's awesome. It was epic. Back then, in the 50s, and actually in the Civil War, there are journals from kids that are like teenage kids that, compared to what we hear now, they're like what an English professor would write. They're beautiful with words that people don't even know the name of now. That's it. So get out there and proactively interact, connect in a real way. Bye.